Imagine that you're sitting in a forest with your eyes open. You can see trees. What a lot there is to see in trees. There's so many varieties of color and shapes. The darkness of the bark, the roughness, the softness of the leaves. In a redwood forest, the trees are very straight and tall. You can see blue sky through the gaps in the leaves and sunlight on the canopy and not on the forest floor. Things are quiet here. There's space to sit, to breathe, to listen in the silence. And as you're breathing, you smell the wonderful aroma of evergreens, the earth, the forest. And we might look at a tree and notice the space that the tree is occupying. And the space all around the tree. As I'm sitting here right now in the redwood forest, there's no wind. There's a bit of movement right at the very top. And there's the action of the squirrels as they're throwing the nuts down, the acorns, the seeds, getting ready for winter. Very gentle movement at the very top. And down on the forest floor, it's quiet. And the trees are unmoved. And we could picture the roots going down into the earth. Some of the roots of these old trees are maybe a foot or two in diameter. They go down 10 or 12 feet, they spread out to the sides. There's a network. And we don't know if trees have the ability to be conscious in the way that a human does with our brains. We know they are alive. We know they cooperate. We know that it's impersonal. We think, at least, that if a tree dies, the other trees don't mourn the tree the way we do if a person dies. It would seem to me there's more of an acceptance, less resistance. This is how it is. I've been sitting in this forest for almost an hour. Not much happens. Same squirrel, dropping the same food, making the same noise. Occasionally a wisp of breeze from above. The light on the trees moves slowly. It's changing. Parts of the trees that were in darkness are now lit up. After about 10 or 15 minutes, things kind of return to normal. The animals and birds forget that you're here. It's interesting to work with a sense of, where do I end and these begin? I can feel my feet on the forest floor. And I know there's a network of roots and soil, bugs. There's life under the soil. When it rains, the earth becomes wet. The roots carry that nourishment up through the trunk into the leaves. And the leaves up top, especially, they're the ones that are catching the light, converting it into energy for the tree. I notice certain words come to mind when I'm sitting in a forest. Stoic, acceptance, space. There's room here. And there's also the reality and the laws of nature. Big tree tumbles. It takes some things down with it. And it opens up this space for the light to get through. Other trees flourish. Some are crushed. And the forest itself survives. The energy feels very stable and slow. If trees have a consciousness, it's not a frantic, hurried type of consciousness. Very slow and steady, patient, accepting. And even as I'm saying those words, I'm aware that they probably don't apply to the trees. I'm anthropomorphizing. These are things that I feel sitting here. There's lots of time. The mind slows down. Just like I imagine the tree's energy slows down. Bring that all to mind. Whatever experience you've had in a forest or even a lovely garden, forest of old growth trees is even better. So quiet. In non duality, we look at concepts like all is one. And what does that mean in a forest? One way to describe that might be the life force that is flowing through the trees, through the leaves, coming down as the sun, breeze, the fungi and the leaves on the forest floor, the soil, that network of connected roots. This person, my network of connections in the brain and the body, my memories. It's all the life force, prana, the energy that wants to come from this stillness into life. And we allow life to move in and through us. We're not separate at all from that life force. And a few feet to the left of me, there's a tree that came down. The root ball that I can see is about 15, 20 feet in the air. There are fungus growing on it, mushrooms. If there are still any bears in these woods, they would be clawing away for the ants and the grubs that live in decaying matter. And when I look up, I see the trees, bark of those trees, the nutrients that created this body of the tree, my body, happens over time. It's a process with predictable results, and that's very much influenced by the environment. So I can look down at my legs or my feet. I could feel my arms. I know that light and color is coming in through my eyes and being interpreted by my brain. These many amazing manifestations of life. And the silence itself, the ground of being, the undifferentiated, the unmanifest. And what comes from and out and is created by that intelligence. And the matter is never lost. It's all consciousness. And the sun has just come through a gap in the trees and leaves. I can feel it warm on my face. And here I sit. Soon it'll be time to go. Get in the car and drive back through the forest, out back to the ocean. So happy to be here in the stillness, connected in this way. And as you move about your day, remain connected. Just touch back in once in a while. Remember that you're not isolated and alone. You're part of this, you're part of consciousness. If you were to lay your body down on the forest floor, just like a tree, the components would return to the earth and it would rise again in a different form. As leaves and bark and sap responding to the warmth of the sun, the moisture. Let your awareness expand out, taking in all the space of your body and what's all around your body as well. And let all of the words fade into the background. Let go of your sense of identity and separateness. My life, my relationships, my scars. And let yourself rest